doesn't get that the big play in the first quarter for the touchdown and a pick six later in the game, this game's probably 30-6 for Indiana. This was 2 plays away from just being like not even a question, and it still really wasn't a question. Oregon looked the better team the whole way through this game. Surprising to see.
Now, I do think this firmly puts Indiana in the driver's seat in the Big Ten. I'd say it puts them in over Ohio State. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, I agree. I completely agree with you. I think Ohio State hasn't had a game where they've looked half as good as Indiana looked in this one.
JT?
I'm not big on Ohio State this year, but I do think that we might need to see a little bit more out of Indiana before I could put them above Ohio State.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still big on Ohio State. I just think that Indiana has the firepower on offense that I'm missing from Ohio State. Ohio State has probably the best defense in the entire country. And them and Miami have the 2 best defenses in all of college football right now, and I think it's not even remotely close from the 3rd spot on that list. But Ohio State, I'm struggling believing in them offensively.
Yeah, that's fair. We saw last week they put up a decent amount of points, but their offense really wasn't getting much together. If you put these 2 teams together, like Indiana and Ohio State, if you put them up together next week, I still think Ohio State will get it done.
We talk about greater inputs relating to greater outcomes, and I want to revert back to your take on having Indiana over Ohio State in the Big Ten. I completely agree. I mean, Indiana really showed out against Oregon and Illinois. We saw the Illinois game a few weeks back ago there. I don't really think Ohio State has truly proven to me that they are the top team in the country, or let alone the Big Ten itself.
And another interconference matchup that we had going on was the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma, where Texas, they shocked some people. JT.
Yeah. So looking at this game, I was going into it, and I thought that since Jean Mateer was coming back, I thought that Oklahoma was going to get this one done with ease. We haven't seen a very good Texas team in the past couple weeks. But Arch Manning managed to get it together, going 21 for 27 with 166 yards and a touchdown. He managed the game, didn't force any turnovers, and they needed that after losing to Florida the past week. But they actually managed to establish that run game with not just Arch Manning, but Quintrevion Wisner with 22 carries for 94 yards, 5 receptions for 34 yards as well. And then in that fourth quarter, this game was still kind of close, but Ryan Niblett had a 75-yard punt return touchdound in that fourth quarter that just killed Oklahoma's entire momentum. Now, John Mateer went 20 for 38, which we were kind of expecting. I don't know. He was coming off a hand injury, but he came back. He didn't do too awful. He did throw 3 picks, but he had he went 20 for 38. We expected not too great of a game from John Mateer, obviously, because he was coming off a hand injury. We were not expecting 3 interceptions, John Mateer.
Yeah.
Well, it was obvious to me he wasn't coming off of nothing. He still has a hand injury, and it's still bothering the way that he throws the football in his throwing motion. But I still think that they should have put Michael Perkins in at halftime, I feel like.
Michael Hawkins.
They were still in this game. They were still in this game.
Before this game got out of hand, John Mateer was not having a good first half.
Yeah.
And I think that you throw Michael Perkins in there, I think that he puts him in a better spot to win that game.
Yeah, I think this is a failure from the Oklahoma coaching staff. You've got to look out for your guy. He's clearly not ready to come off of that hand injury. It's the biggest game you've got in the season. You can't go out and put a guy that's not healthy, not putting your team in the best position to win.
See, even when Michael Hawkins was in those games in place of John Mateer, he truly surprised me because, he didn't really show true promise last season back when Jackson Arnold was benched in favor of him. And Texas defense really showed out. And I know JT speaks upon every single week. Oklahoma's defense is the best in the SEC. It did not really look like it last game. Within a 23-6 loss to Texas, and Arch Manning in this Texas offense. Not saying they looked great, but they looked to improve on the past, mistakes with Florida, for example. Not a great offensive showing from Ohio State early on in the season. So I like this turnaround from Texas, and I hope to see it continue forward.
Well, the main reason that Texas even won this game was because they knew John Mateer had an injury, right? And so they were like, let's make him throw the ball. because he was coming off that hand injury. They held Oklahoma to 38 rushing yards throughout the entire game.
Well, yeah, that's been an ongoing theme for Oklahoma. Though Oklahoma's never been a good running team all season long, and they've had to rely on John Mateer and on Michael Hawkins. Yeah, Hawkins. So I don't think game plan strategy, maybe from Texas, a little bit more than they normally would to try and attack John Mateer's injury. But the running threat for Oklahoma hasn't been there the whole entire season. But now, where does this put Texas in the SEC for you guys, and what does this mean for Oklahoma now?
I mean, I think Texas is still pretty dead in the water as far as it comes to the SEC. That loss to Florida pretty much, I think, kills them in contention. They got to win out the rest of the way, and winning out in the SEC is extremely difficult. I don't have much faith in Texas getting to the SEC title game. They might could sneak into one of those lower seeds in the playoffs. I still don't think they're a very dangerous team. I just don't think in those big moments where you need your quarterback to make the plays to win the game, I don't think Arch Manning has it. Maybe he proves me wrong.
Considering how competitive this SEC conference has been all season and how wide open it's been, I still think they're still a mid-tier team because you still look at teams like Ole Miss up there. I would still throw in Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama up in the 4 rankings, and maybe a little bit of LSU. I need to see a little bit more out of LSU. I like them more than Texas. But, Texas, I mean, they didn't start right from the get-go and from the jump, and due to the rest of their strength of schedule, I don't see them rising any further within the SEC ranks.
Yeah, with Texas, I mean, you look at the SEC, it's just such a wide-open conference, but there's so many top dogs, and then there's also a middle pack, and I feel like Texas is still in that middle pack. Yes, they had a great win against Oklahoma, but I mean, like Jackson was saying, there's so many good teams that are still in this SEC. Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee. Like, there's 6 or 7 teams that I would put above Texas in this SEC.
So I'm going to make the statement right now, and that is that there's going to be a 2-loss SEC champion. I think that the SEC championship there is going to be played between 2 teams that both have 2 losses. There's too many good teams atop the SEC. And Texas, you look at their schedule, the only big-name team they have left on that schedule from within the SEC is Texas A&M. So they may be able to squeak in there. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But another team within the SEC that is not doing so hot right now is Jackson and his dream child, Bo Pribula.
Eeny, meeny, miny, Bo Pribula. Don't say they're not doing too hot right now. They fought a hard, close game versus Alabama this past weekend. Ty Simpson looking like Ty Pimpson, looking like Kirk Cousins.
That's wild.
Looking like Kirk Cousins out there on the airplanes turning in Kirko chains. Ty Simpson has really turned it around. And we talked early on in this season about Alabama dynasty. Is it over? No. Alabama has a really good shot at winning this SEC championship. Now, reverting back to this game, Alabama versus Mizzou, it was a hard-fought quarterback battle, and what really succumbed to the pressure was Mizzou's defense ending up in the end. Outside of Bo Pribula's costly turnovers and interceptions, throwing 2 over there when he's been one of the most has one of the highest completion percentages out of the quarterbacks in the starting for the SEC. And Bo Pribula, he turned the ball over in the fourth quarter. I just, it's costly. I don't say they're not looking too hot. It was a 27-4 loss. And Mizzou truly proved themselves, especially, in my opinion, the top team in the SEC in Alabama right now, that Mizzou can hang up there with the big guys.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a very evenly matched game. I mean, I don't think Mizzou is struggling at all. I just think this was a good opponent they went up against, and they just couldn't get it done. But this game was close all the way up until that last drive when Bo Pribula threw that pick. Yes, it was a very, very costly interception. He had 2 of those in this game that did not look they were definitely Bo Pribula's fault. It was bad reads, and Alabama's defense was just able to take advantage of those reads, and that ended up leading to Alabama getting the win here.
So here's my thing. This is just the beginning of this brutal end of the year for Missouri, because they still have a tough game at Auburn this coming up weekend. They still have Vanderbilt. They still have Texas A&M, Mississippi State, who's proven that even though they've been losing close to good teams. They still have Oklahoma left on this schedule and a very underrated Arkansas team. So I don't know what Missouri has going for them later on. I think that I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I think it was 2 episodes ago, and I think Missouri winds up being around 8-4. It might wind up being 7-5.
I think the only way that Mizzou has a chance at the SEC championship right now, they need to win out. I don't think you can lose a single one of these games coming up if you want to have a chance at the SEC championship. I think there's too many good teams in the SEC, and I mean they're playing a lot of them: Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Vandy, and Auburn this weekend. I mean, we have games on here that very easily could just turn upside down if Bo Pribula plays like he did last week, throwing costly picks.
Now, here's my thing. They can still lose one of these games going forward. I don't feel like they can lose 2, and it's going to have to matter who they lose to. I think it's going to have to be against either Arkansas, it's going to have to be Mississippi State, or it's going to have to be Auburn. If it's Vanderbilt or if it's Texas A&M, I don't think that they're able to jump them in the standings to get to the SEC championship game.
I could argue if Missouri wins out all of these games and maybe loses a very, very close one, like if they win all these convincingly, but then maybe lose a very, very close one to like a Texas A&M, I definitely think that we could see a Texas A&M Missouri SEC championship. I don't know. That might be the only other way I could see it, but I think looking at this schedule, they need to win out.
And speaking of conferences getting shuffled up, Penn State now has officially fired James Franklin, and we have a voice note from someone that me and Jackson interviewed over the summer called Matty Fresh. You may know him as the Trace McSorley song guy. So, Jackson, take it away.
This is Matty Fresh with your Penn State of the Union on Wolf Sports Network. James Franklin, you hate to see him go, but you love to watch him leave. It was the best of times and it was the worst of times. But one thing we know for sure, it was time for Penn State to move on from Coach Franklin. Now, I just want to remind Penn State fans, this isn't going to happen overnight. We're not going to be able to judge this decision, whether it was correct or not, for quite a while. I'm giving it till 2035. We can look back and finally say, was it the right decision to move on from Coach Franklin? Some names I throw out there on my hot board. I'm going to be a little contrarian here, so brace yourself. My number 1 candidate for the Penn State head coaching job going forward is Pat Fitzgerald. His name has been cleared from the Northwestern hazing scandal. It would be a great opportunity for him to get a fresh start. He's coached in the Big Ten before, and you don't have to pay a buyout like you would with Signetti or Rule and face all those distractions. And that's why Pat Fitzgerald should be the next head coach at Penn State.
Thank you, Matty Fresh, for that voice note. Shout out. And if you missed last weekend, you missed Penn State losing their 2nd straight game where they were favored by 20 or more points. And the caveat for James Franklin has always been you'll win against teams that you're supposed to win against, and you'll lose against teams you're supposed to lose against. Mm-hmm. But that got tipped over because he lost to UCLA 2 weeks ago, a winless team, and then he lost to Northwestern last year, who has been the laughingstock of the Big Ten for my entire life, and that's been a really long time, you guys. Aiden, what do you think of this James Franklin firing?
I think it's extremely reactionary to fire a guy who has put your program in a position to win 10, 11 games a year, to go to the college football playoff every year because he had a bad month. Yeah, this guy's had a great decade at Penn State, and he has a bad month, and you fire him immediately. You pay him, what was it, $75 million?
It's $56 million. That's his buyout.
Yeah, pay him $56 million to go hit the road after a bad month. It completely erases all of the good work that he's done. I just think it's plain stupid, to be honest with you.
You know, I would have sided with you last week, Aiden, but after every single take you said on the playbook, and I've agreed with you on, it turns to trash. So I'm going to defer from you this week, and I want to look at the overcast of it. We talk about James Franklin and him being the definition of consistency. You talk about a team and him leading a team leading to the college football playoff every year, 10, 11-win team. But maybe a college football team wants more than that. They won a national championship, and clearly James Franklin was not the guy to help lead them there. So James Franklin is probably going to end up somewhere in the SEC. And it also didn't help that, you know, Drew Aller went down for the season, not really playing a stellar game even up to that point. And it's still funny to me that a couple weeks ago when a media reporter had asked him, are y'all still playing for the playoffs? And he said, what do you think? Well, clearly not. And, they have to roll with Ethan Grunkenmeyer. And I just feel bad for Drew Aller because I opened his Instagram post, and it was flooded with, "You got him fired." So, but best of luck to James Franklin in the future. And hopefully Drew Aller can have a smooth and safe recovery because, Drew, I believe in you. That's it. That's my testimony. Message approved.
Wow. Very inspirational, Jackson. Well, so last week before the loss to Northwestern, I was kind of on Aiden's side. Aiden was still talking like how he is today, where he's talking about you shouldn't fire a guy that, I mean, he had a great decade with Penn State. He's given you 10 wins a season at least. But just this season is just a very off season, and I feel like I kind of agree with Jackson in the fact that they're trying to win a national championship, and if you have a coach that cannot ever manage to win these big games, I mean, something's got to change, and I guess that's how they're changing it.
So now I'm glad that Maddie brought up the fact that it was the best of times and the worst of times, because he brought up, despite how bad that it looks right now over there at Penn State, I think something that's been lost in all of it is James Franklin did a great job when he first came in at Penn State, making sure that Penn State moved on from the scandals that were going on there before he took that coaching job.
Let's hire Pat Fitzgerald to bring the
hey,
it'll scandals over.
It'll all depend on who they hire next. But it's safe to say now that James Franklin, for the time being, is taking a break from coaching, and we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Wolf Sports Network.
Yo, this is JT Money, and you're listening to The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network. We do not affiliate with Disney Channel in any way. It's time for Season 2 of The Playbook, and we're talking all things college football, putting together a better sophomore season than Tim Tebow in 2007.
To the listeners and everybody at Wolf Nation, I promise you one thing. You will never see an on-air personality work as hard as I will for Season 2 of The Playbook, and we will make this show better than any college football radio show will ever be for Season 2 of The Playbook.
Listen as we fulfill this promise, live, every Friday at noon.
This season, everything changes. I'm the only one who came back, and honestly, I might regret it.
Josh Allen might just be the best athlete the NFL has ever seen.
Spencer Strider is an elite closer posing as an ace.
D Rose is the most overrated player of all time.
One vet, all new voices, hot takes, wild debates, and zero chill. Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket debuts this fall, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Ian's freestyle went big. But we're going to go bigger.
Dang, it's my first season. I feel like a star. I be dropping hot takes. I speak real bizarre. How many views we gonna get? I'd say about 1 mil. Out of Pocket Season 6. We got zero chill. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket. Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome to the Boring Sports Show, where we only bring the most boring sports takes.
Who are you? I am Hot Takes Man, and I defend the world from boring sports shows like yours. Another day's work for Hot Takes Man. Citizen, if you want to save yourself from boring sports content, then tune in to Sports Out of Pocket, Wednesdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network.
From Athens to Atlanta, Statesboro to Macon, if college football is being played in the Peach State, we're all over it. This is the Peach Slate.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of The Playbook. If you're just now joining us, I'm joined by Aiden, AB, JT, and someone's a little bit different over there. That is our friend Joey Prater, who's going to be joining us in for the next 2 segments. But if you were listening in on the last segment, I think it's safe to say that James Franklin crossed the line with Penn State fans. So this is a segment we like to call Walk the Line, where we we're going to stay within the state of Georgia, and we're going to stay in Carrollton to talk about this West Georgia football game that happened this past Saturday.
So starting off with this West Georgia game, really, really rough loss. We were without Davin Weiner this weekend, and we ended up losing the game 30-13 against Abilene Christian. And that's not we're on a 2-game losing streak right now, and we're going into Tarleton State next week, who's the top team in our conference. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe we'll have Davin back. If not, I don't think we win this game with Colton Fitzgerald back there. Both quarterbacks had a total of 241 passing yards, but Stone Earl went 21 for 32 with 3 touchdowns, while Colton Fitzgerald only went 15 for 28 with only 1 touchdown. And the main factor in this game was West Georgia couldn't establish that run game that we've been so good at the entire season. We only had 35 rushing yards, while Abilene Christian had 210 total rushing yards. Abilene Christian was a much better balanced team. We couldn't even get the pass game going, but we definitely could not get the run game going. And our defense is also not looking too hot. We saw the first 4 weeks of the season, we had a top 8 defense in all of FCS. And now our defense is just giving up 30 points, 44 points. I don't know what's going on with our defense right now. And I mean, there's a lot of questioning what caused West Georgia to lose this game? It could be we didn't have Davin Winder. You could blame it on that. Or you can blame it on the fact that our play calling was absolutely horrific. We had a takeaway late in the game. We got a takeaway. The game was still very, very close. And then our first play that we get the ball back, we had decent field position, and we decided to run a double pass. The wide receiver throws the ball into double coverage, and we give him the ball right back. I feel like that just killed all of our momentum. And then Abilene Christian proceeded to pile on the points, making us lose this game.
So. Yeah, Brandon, I don't blame you for trying to skip over this one. This is domination in every single facet of the game. Couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass, couldn't get anything going on offense. Just brutal game to watch.
So I'm glad that you mentioned Davin Widener's injury because it's still an ongoing injury. We don't know if he's going to wind up playing tomorrow or not, but Coach Taylor did say that he is ready to roll with Colton Fitzgerald as their guy moving forward if Davin is not ready to play.
Yeah, I don't like that move at all. I mean, I feel like they need to give somebody else a chance back there. Colton Fitzgerald just watching this game from the sideline just did not look like a very, very good game from Colton Fitzgerald. The stats might tell you, you went 15 for 28. He had a decent game. You probably could have won with those kind of stats. But he was missing costly throws, overthrowing his receivers, just missing throws that you really shouldn't be missing if you want to win a game against a tough defense.
And so moving about an hour and a half away, we have Kennesaw, Georgia, where there was a team on a bye week last week. And then we have this upcoming Tuesday night, Kennesaw State taking on Florida International. Joey, what are you looking for in this game?
I'm looking forward to Kennesaw keeping their momentum. They're currently on a winning streak, which, hard for them. So they've been struggling, but they finally got their momentum going. And I think they can just roll through this Florida International team. And I think they're going to get a Tuesday victory, which would be pretty cool to get a Tuesday football game win.
Mm-hmm. Now, I am glad that you did mention the bounce back by Kennesaw State because they started the season 0-2, but they've won their last 4. So we'll see how that favors them in Conference USA play moving forward. Yeah. But we have our first inter-Georgia matchup this weekend as Georgia Southern and Georgia State play each other. Aiden, what are you looking for from this Georgia State team?
Looking for
Georgia Southern.
I was about to say I'm not looking
Georgia
forward for
Southern
nothing from this Georgia State team. I don't think this Georgia State team has any juice. I think Georgia Southern, though, on the other hand, this is a team that comes out and they run it down your throat. I really like what they're building down there in Statesboro right now. I think this is going to be not just a win, but a dominant win for Georgia Southern. Just a much better football team. I think Dale McGee's on the way out, man.
Oh.
Well, here's my thing. I don't see it happening. I see Georgia State pulling off the upset against Georgia Southern, actually. I actually see them walking in there and winning this game.
Wow.
Because this is actually a little-known rivalry with these teams.
It's not little-known. It's one of the biggest rivalries in the state, man. Clean old-fashioned hate, they call it.
I said Georgia.
False advertisement.
Yeah. But I see this game going in Georgia State's favor, and they finally getting their second win of the season.
I will say if Georgia State wants to stay in this game, they're going to have to stop Georgia Southern on thirds down because they love to run the ball, and they love to convert on these third and short situations. But we talked about Georgia Tech for a second right there. Aiden, Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech this past weekend. I'm not too confident in Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it's just
we're keeping it close against teams that we shouldn't be keeping it close against, brother.
Yeah, this is we just every time we go into a game, we just let the team hang around with us for a little bit longer than they should. This Virginia Tech team has been thoroughly unimpressive on the year, and I feel like they just hung around with us for so long. We couldn't just stick the foot on their throat and put them out of the game at any point in this one.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, Georgia Tech is one of those teams that, yes, they're a good team. They're top of the ACC right now, just due to the fact that who they played. Obviously, I feel like Miami's a better team. But Georgia Tech is currently atop the ACC, and I just feel like they play down to whoever they're playing against.
Yeah.
Like, they like to play these close games. I mean, and they usually come out with the win, but one of these times it will get them, and they will end up losing a close game.
So, another team we played a close game this weekend? The Georgia Bulldogs went up against the Auburn Tigers. And if this was your first college football game that you've ever watched, I am so sorry for the display of football that got put upon you during this game, because this is not what college football is about. Whether we want to call it a fumble or not at the goal line, I think it's 50-50. I think that whatever they called on the field is what they should have made. Like, there wasn't enough to overturn anything, I do think. Now, whether it should have been called a touchdown on the field or not, that remains to be seen. But that wasn't my biggest gripe about this game. My biggest gripe about this game was Kirby Smart blatantly lying to an official where he was running up the sidelines and motioning for a timeout. If you're watching on YouTube, he's doing this while he's mouthing the word time. And the referee just stops the play with 1 second on the play clock. There's not a delay of game. There's not a timeout called, and they just reset the whole entire play. And Kirby just straight up lies about it. So it's very reminiscent of this Georgia program that I have come to watch. Aiden.
Oh, yeah, probably the biggest scandal in America since Watergate. I think Kirby Smart should probably be prosecuted criminally for, just embarrassing himself, embarrassing his program. And I was trying to get a paper done Saturday night. I was tuned into the last 2 minutes of the first half. I was like, I watched the last 2 minutes of the first half, finished my paper during halftime. It was 42 minutes. The last 2 minutes of that first half.
Yeah.
I about didn't get my paper done in time because I was like, let me just watch these last 2 minutes. It took so long. Kirby Smart just another example of the lives he's ruining.
As I said, Kirby Smart embodies to me what is wrong with college football time and time and time again.
Time.
And
Time. I mean,
college football isn't what college football used to be, and Kirby Smart has become the face of this new, what I like to call semi-pro college football league that doesn't take academics into account. You have to have your obligatory 120-mile-an-hour speeding ticket to even get recruited in Georgia, and you have to have one every semester. That way you come back the next semester. But anyway, we'll move on, and Aiden, I think it's time to walk the line.
There is no way Carson Beck is throwing for 240 this game.
Are you kidding me? This is a cakewalk for him. I'm hitting the over.
Walk the line.
So I mentioned that we were going to get on that Georgia Tech and Duke game a little bit later on. It'd be easy for me and Aiden to sit here and break down this game and how we're upset about the line that's on it. But we have JT here who's going to speak for us for it.
So at first, before the last segment that we just had, I was really thinking, Duke is favored in this game, and I don't know how. But then going back to how they played Virginia Tech last week, they play down to the team they're playing against, and this Duke team is actually pretty solid this year.
Yeah.
I could definitely, maybe I still would favor Georgia Tech in this one, but, Duke having that line at 1.5, I feel like that's not too crazy.
So I think that Georgia Tech does have a problem of playing down to opponents, but they don't have a problem with losing to opponents. And I can't see a situation where Georgia Tech loses the game by 1 point. But I think Georgia Tech winds up winning this game. I do think. I think that it's going to be a much closer game than people think it is. But I think that even having Duke favored in the game is absolutely crazy to me.
I do think Georgia Tech gets it done. I do think they should be favored. But, I mean, this is a Duke team that is doing really hot this year. They have a really, really good offense. But Georgia Tech has a really good defense. And so, like you said, this could be a very, very close game, a lot closer than a lot of people expect. I do see Georgia Tech getting it done, but I could see this maybe being a 3-point game.
Now, I think Georgia Tech's tired of playing around with these teams, tired of playing with their food. They're going to get to the table and eat a full meal this weekend.
We've been waiting. We've been waiting for that little switch to flip for Georgia Tech, and it just hasn't happened yet. We've seen it against Temple, where we were down by 7 at one point in the second half of that team. We've seen it against Wake Forest, where I'll openly admit that very well should have been a loss for Georgia Tech in that game. And then we have last week, we wasn't able to pull away from Virginia Tech in favorable fashion. But another interconference game that I want to talk about is Auburn and Missouri. And given what I said about Auburn earlier, I still think Auburn's a decent football team. I think that they go on the road to Missouri. I think they wind up outright winning this game. Missouri's favored by 1.5 in it. I like Missouri in this one.
I like Missouri too. I think they just came off a close loss to an Alabama team. They're going to be more ready to play this game than they have been for any in the past. I think they get back into the win column against an inferior Auburn team this weekend. And
then next up, we are going out west for Wyoming and Air Force. Joey.
Man, so I'm so happy I finally get to talk about Air Force again and in a positive light because they have been struggling this entire season, have one win, and they're finally favored in a game. So I'm excited to see what Air Force can do because they're one of our few military teams that actually throw the damn football. So can't wait to see them do that against this terrible pass defense of Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean, did you forget that Wyoming has Josh Allen? No, I'm just playing. I think that they will hit the over in this game. Like you said, Air Force does throw the football, and I really do feel like this game might be a 70-point game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think they hit the over. I don't think it has anything to do with Air Force's offense. I think it's Air Force's defense. This team hasn't allowed less than 34 points all season to an FBS school, and the only team that hasn't scored more than 40 was Navy, who doesn't throw. So this Air Force defense is probably the worst in the country, to be honest with you. 51 points last week, 44 points to Hawaii, 49 to Boise State and Ohio State. This defense can't stop water.
And then there was a team last week that raised a few eyebrows, and I think that Aiden was one of those people who raised his eyebrows at this team. Washington State at Virginia.
Yeah, Washington State last week went on the road to Ole Miss. They were 32.5-point underdogs, and they only lost by 3. They were able to get the run game going, 88 yards on only 10 carries. They were able to get the pass game going. Zachary Eckhouse, 24 for 31 with 2 touchdowns. And I think they can do the same against Virginia. I don't think this Virginia team is as good as Ole Miss, and I think Washington State might have figured something out last week, and this could be one that you can get them in at only 17.5-point underdogs, half of what they were last week. And I think they continue to build on that momentum that they established in a loss last weekend.
So I don't know. Washington State, you have weird games in college football where team can look good one week, then team can absolutely just look absolutely horrid the next week. And I like Virginia. I like what they have going on over there. And I think that Virginia wins this game. They may cover the spread. It may be 17 on the dot because it's 17.5.
I think you're ignoring the outside factors. This is Washington State with a new head coach. They lost their head coach. He moved over to Wake Forest after last season. They've got a new guy in. It took him 5 games to figure out the players he has. He figured them out last week in Oxford. Now he's got to go on the road to Virginia, and he's going to do more of the same, I think. Maybe even get the win this weekend.
I could see that happening. Yeah, no, I have Washington in this game, covering the spread, maybe pulling off the upset win. So I'm with you, Aiden.
Let's go. I have Joey on my side.
I do think what we saw at Wazoo last week was a very, very talented team that actually was able to keep a game close. And I do think they also cover the spread. Maybe not win this game, but I do think Wazoo keeps this one close and they cover that spread.
So I guess you could say that was a preview for some picks that we have coming up. But right now we are up against an ad break. So let's show some love to the other team or other shows on the station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, you are listening to The Playbook, your home for all things college football, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Listen up, because I got to tell you, Sports Pack is back and better than ever right here on Wolf Sports Network. SportsPack is UWG's one-stop shop for all things sports. From hot takes to heated debates and even your best bets for the week, SportsPack has you covered. So don't miss out on the fun. Catch us right here on Wolf Sports Network every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
From the first whistle to the final buzzer, Wolf Sports Network brings you the action you crave. Sports Pack is your all-access pass to the Wolves athletics. From football, basketball, baseball, soccer, and volleyball, and more. If the pack plays, we cover it. Passion, pride, pack. Don't miss Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network.
Sports Pack.
Sports Pack.
Sports Pack is back.
West Georgia's one-stop shop for all things sports. Whether it's UWG, NFL, NBA, or MLB, we've got you covered on all fronts right here on Sports Pack.
Mondays and Thursdays at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome aboard to Sports Out of Pocket Airlines, your nonstop flight to the highs and lows of the sports world. This is your Captain Jackson Vole speaking, and this is Flight Path, where we chart every climb and dive, teams taking off to championship skies, and players hitting unexpected turbulence. Buckle up, sports fans, and fasten those seatbelts, because when the whistle blows, we're cleared for takeoff. Listen to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Playbook picks.
You heard that right. This is one of my favorite personal segments of the show where we give our picks on some of the upcoming games this college football weekend. And we are going to start with Baylor and TCU, a Big 12 matchup where the loser of this game, I think, inevitably gets knocked out of Big 12 championship contention. So, Aiden, we're going to start with you. Who do you have in this Baylor-TCU game?
I mean, I've made my thoughts on the Big 12 completely clear.
It's not fun.
I could care less who wins this game. I'm only doing this to improve my record a little bit, and I think TCU is going to win.
You know, this is going to be a really hard-fought battle, and we've seen it from the Big 12. I want to take a devil's advocate kind of approach to Aiden's take. The Big 12 is fun, and it's really shown that this year. But I'm going to take TCU. I think they've looked a little bit more consistent offensively, and I think that's truly what's going to come down to it, especially when it comes to Big 12 era for that. I think I'm going to take TCU.
Now, Baylor is not just an academic school anymore. This Baylor team isn't just good at academics. They are good at football, and they are going to win this game.
So these are the two of the best offenses in the entire country. I feel like whatever the over-under is for this, I'm absolutely taking the over on it, and so should you at home. But
it's 67.5.
Going to be a lot of points scored. There's going to be more than 67.5, at least 68. But I have Baylor coming out in this game. Okay. And we are going to keep it in the Big 12 with perhaps the biggest rivalry game within the Big 12. We have Utah and Baylor. Aiden.
Utah and BYU?
Yeah, Utah
and BYU.
Utah, BYU. Guys, this is the only exception to Big 12 not being fun. I love the Holy War so much. I'm actually I might convert to Mormonism if BYU wins this game. I've been considering it for a long time now, and I'm gonna go with Utah because I don't want to be a Mormon.
This is going to be another hard-fought battle. It's the battle of the Usays. So, Aiden understands it. That's really in the Holy War battle over there. You got Utah versus BYU. Very both strong offenses in the Big 12. But I think when it comes to composure and a little bit more all-around elusivity, I think I'm going to take Utah slightly because I like what Devin Dampierre is doing over there in Utah, reverting this Utah football team to make it fun in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see this game going either way. This is really a 50-50 matchup between two top 25 teams. Utah's actually favored in this one, but we're forgetting one thing. BYU has a bear at quarterback. Bear Bachmeier is going to get this one done. BYU is going to win this football game.
So I am going to go ahead and just take a BYU by a field goal in this one. I think it's going to be close.
Not a
I
two-point
think BYU is one of the most
extra point.
BYU is one of the most underappreciated teams in the entire country, still undefeated. But I think that BYU winds up squeaking it out late in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And
if that happens, I will read the Book of Mormon live on air next week.
we can finally get out of the Big 12, Aiden. So you're going to be
We're
really
making
happy
it out
about
of
this
Carrollton
next
with this
matchup
one.
between USC and Notre Dame.
Oh, USC. Oh, wait. I'm starting off again. Let's go. In this one, I haven't believed in this USC team one time this whole year. But today that changes. I'm going to pick USC. I actually think this offense is the first time I'm going to talk good about him. Jaden Maeva is actually good at football, despite all the negative things I've said about him. I think they beat Notre Dame in South Bend this weekend.
I'm glad you've joined the good side.
It's going to be a very hard-fought battle. I love the air raid attack over at USC, and Brandon Dyer has really bought me into that. Jaden Maeva and his connection to Makai Lemon. I've seen all the Makai Lemon edits on TikTok. Really big fan of those. But Makai Lemon, outside of that, Makai Lemon is one of the more underrated receivers, I would say, heading into this Big Ten season. It's going to be really, really close. I think the Trojans' defense needs to put their guard up. Get what I did there. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna take USC by a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think this Notre Dame team is the same team that we saw last year when they made the championship. I think that Jordan Maeva is gonna have himself a game. USC is gonna get this one done.
So I think USC very nearly beat a good Illinois team that was ranked 2 weeks ago. And they completely destroyed a Michigan team a week ago that was ranked. And I think they build off that momentum from the Michigan game to go and beat Notre Dame, effectively eliminating the Fighting Irish from college football playoff contention. But now we move over to the SEC on two teams still vying for that SEC championship, LSU and Vanderbilt. Aiden, what do you think about this?
I think Vanderbilt's just a much better football team than LSU. Vanderbilt comes into this one with a 60.7% chance to win, according to ESPN FPI. If you told me that before the year, I would have called you some names. But that is the world that we currently live in, and I'm going to go with Vanderbilt to get this win up in Nashville. I just believe in Diego Pavia.
I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle, and we talk about offensive inconsistencies from LSU that you've seen all season. Even Garrett Nussmeier in that LSU offense didn't look the greatest against a really shaky South Carolina defense that's been battered all season. But you look on the other side in Vanderbilt, I mean, Diego Pavia is really doing his thing. I really thought that they were going to pull it out against Alabama, but unfortunately that was not the case. We talk about the different tiers of the SEC rankings, and I think they're in the same tier. They're very, very well matched. But I'm going to take Vanderbilt by a touchdown.
I think this is going to be a very, very good game against two very good quarterbacks that are both some of the Heisman frontrunners right now. I think Diego Pavia and Garrett Nussmeier are both really, really good quarterbacks that are going up against each other.
Garrett Nussmeier is a Heisman candidate.
What?
He will.
I say there's 10 different Heisman candidates every single episode, but Garrett Nussmeier is not one of them.
You jumped the shark on Jackson Vols right there. He hasn't called him a Heisman candidate since week 4.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Heisman candidate after this game. LSU is going to win this one 24-19. LSU, VCU, Cows Go Moo, Tigers in 5.
So we kept waiting for this LSU offense to finally wake up this season, and they're still sleeping, y'all. They're sleeping in late into the season. So it's time to look in the mirror and realize, you know what? Maybe we just don't have a good offense this season. Maybe we thought that we were going to have this high-powered offense.
Not possible.
Don't exist right now. But give me the Commodores in a game that's won in the trenches. And staying within the SEC, we have one of my favorite college football games every single season. And that is Alabama and Tennessee, the third Saturday in October. Aiden, who you got in this game?
The third Saturday in October. I can't believe we're already there at that point in the season, but I'm very excited to see this Tennessee-Alabama game. Joey Aguilar, this is a prove-it game for him. He's had his big game against Georgia. He turned the ball over too many times for this team to win. Can he get it done? Ty Simpson doesn't turn the ball over. He only has one interception this whole year. I think that's what makes the difference. Ty Simpson leads Alabama with a consistent hold on to the ball type of game. Just manage the game, get the win.
I like it.
You know, Ty Pimpson, he's able to spread the ball all over. He's an all-around quarterback. That's something that I have not seen out of Joey Aguilar yet. Ty Simpson really knows how to utilize his wide receivers. I mean, you see it with Isaiah Horton, Jerry Bernard, Brian Williams, just to name a few. And they're also very well potent when it comes to the run game in Jam Miller over there. So I think with all-around consistency and continuity and cohesiveness, I'm going to take Alabama over Tennessee. Brandon Dyer will not be singing Rocky Top next week. I think Alabama is going to win by a touchdown.
Yeah, I do think Alabama wins this game. Now, these are two of the top teams that are in the SEC, but I just think what we saw out of Ty Simpson last week, having a near-perfect game, I think that Alabama is going to get this one done.
I think Alabama and Tennessee both lost early in the season, Tennessee to Georgia, Alabama to Florida State. And the loss here might be detrimental to what they are trying to go and get an SEC championship out of. And I believe in Tennessee just a little bit more than I do Alabama. I think they go into Tuscaloosa. Give me Rocky Top in this one. But now it is time for our game of the week. Ole Miss travels to Athens to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Aiden, what do you have to say about this game?
Georgia hasn't looked like themselves this year. All right, the dominant, get it done on defense. You know, don't play any games. Just get the job done, team. You know, what does Kirby Smart say? Just chop wood. Just get it done. That team hasn't looked the same. Kirby Smart looks scared. Gunnar Stockton doesn't look competent. This offense can't move the football against Auburn. I got Ole Miss going into Athens and getting. They're going to be eating on some hedges, I think, after this game. Lane Kiffin's going to definitely have some hedges between his teeth after this one.
I would say Tennessee versus Alabama is more of the game of the week than this. But Georgia, but Georgia, just based on this definition alone, Georgia versus Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss is really able to spread the ball to the double Ds. Daquan and Dazon Stribling. And you also see that Ole Miss run game with Kawan Lacey really able to be elusive and move the ball around, find the open windows. Georgia's looked a little too inconsistent. I mean, you got to look at the defensive side aspect as well. Georgia's defense has really been their strong suit this season alone, but I think Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss is going to dominate this Georgia defense, and I'm going to take Ole Miss by a smooth
25.
10 points.
Pimpson and Bliss, I'm proud of you today, Jackson. Good wordplay.
I think that this Ole Miss team, what we've saw in the last couple weeks, they beat LSU, which we just talked about. LSU's not a good team this year, apparently. And then they only beat Wazoo by 3 points last week, a team they were favored by more than 2 touchdowns to win against. I mean, this Georgia team may have won a controversial game this past weekend, but they look like a solid team, and I think they've looked like a better team than Ole Miss. Ole Miss doesn't really have any big wins this season. I feel maybe LSU being their biggest win so far this season. I think that Georgia gets this one done. This is Ole Miss's first actual contest.
So this was a tough game for me to pick, believe it or not. On one side, you have the most mobile quarterback I've ever seen at Georgia. And then on the other side, you have the biggest playmaker in the SEC,
Grayson Lambert,
Trinidad Chambliss. But there's a train coming through Athens. And who's that coming down the track?
Who's that coming down the track?
It's the mean machine in the red and black.
It's the mean machine in the red and black.
Georgia Bulldogs gonna lose.
Georgia Bulldogs gonna lose.
To Ole Miss, you know it's true.
To Ole Miss, that you know it's true.
Go Hot. Go Todd. Go Hotty Toddy. The Rebels get it done in Athens.
Nope.
I love it, Brandon Dyer. I love the energy. I completely agree with you. JT thinks that LSU's a good team, so we can't take what he says seriously.
But there are going to be a lot of campus legends in this game. So, Aiden, let's get to some of our campus legends that we have today.
Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Reggie Bush, Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel. What do these guys have in common? All these players know what it's like to be a campus legend.
All right, it's time for our signature segment of the show, and we're going to start with JT giving us his campus legend first.
Ooh, I like this. This is my first time actually starting off. All right, the college, USC. Any guesses?
Players have gone there.
You know,
any guesses?
I'm not going to risk it, but I feel like
there's been too many good players come out of USC.
This is a running back.
Now, there's an obvious pick, but he's not going to go with the obvious.
It's not going to go.
Maybe I did.
Go with the obvious
Maybe
pick.
I did go with
you
an
know
obvious
what?
pick.
I need some points right here, and I'm going to try and trick out JT.
Too. Yeah, me too.
I am going to try and see if I can psych out JT on this one.
Interesting. I was actually hoping you guys would have guessed a little bit early.
Okay.
All right, next hint.
I'm waiting. Did you lock in?
Pick number 1 in 1969.
I was wrong, guys.
I'm waiting.
You don't know it?
Keep going.
Next hint.
Yeah.
He played from 1969 to 1979.
2,000 yards in 14 games.
I love
Don't give him a hint.
so much.
I can give him a hint. I don't care.
The teams. You need the teams.
Yeah.
The Bills and the 49ers.
Did not know he played for the 49ers.
He did. The last 2 years of his
He
career.
has a
he
Fortnite
played.
skin.
I don't know why I'm blanking.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I really don't know why I'm blanking.
All right.
This is crazy.
Any guesses from Jackson?
No.
All right. Flip them boards.
I'm going to keep it blank.
We have O.J. Simpson.
I said Ronald Jones
Jones the second. Jackson goes blank. It is O.J. Simpson.
Yeah. I didn't think that he would do that. I
4 points.
I thought it was a fake out, you know.
4 points for
I'm
Brandon.
glad with my 4 points from that one. Jackson, we're going to go to you next. Who's your campus legend?
All right. The college from my campus legend, UCF.
Ooh.
I'm going to lock in.
Another trick. Another trick.
Nah.
It's not who you think it is,
It
Aiden.
is.
It's not
It is
who
who
you
I think it is. He's going to fake out
He's
the fake
clocking
out.
it in for 5.
Yep.
Interesting.
Bold strategy,
You
Cotton. Let's
want,
see if
you
it
want
works
the position?
Yep.
Running back.
Crap.
I told you it wasn't going to work out for you.
This is awful news.
You need the
Yeah, I'll take it here.
64th overall in 2008.
I have a guy's
2008
face.
UCF.
I'm envisioning him right now, but I cannot get his name. I'm gonna need more
I'm
hints.
glad I locked in for 5.
Yeah, I don't have a guess for it.
He played from 2008 to 2012.
Wow.
Only played for 4 years.
Illustrious career.
Hate to see
You
it.
need the teams?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Lions.
UCF Lions running backs.
Could be
I don't have a
Jameson
guess.
Williams.
I don't have a guess.
Could be.
This guy was a Heisman finalist in 08.
I wasn't alive, so.
Yes, you were. I was like, Brandon, you should know.
I don't have a guess.
Yeah, Brandon was.
I am not too keen on Lions lore.
Brandon was doing a college football show this year, I think.
Yeah. y'all.
Joey says he
Oh my
knows.
gosh,
Joey
I
knows.
have
Good
the
news.
name in my mind.
Joey looked it up.
I have the name in my mind. No, he's a Lions fan. I have
I
the
thought
name
he
in
went
my
to Air
mind, but
Force.
I just can't think of his. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so
All right,
mad.
yo,
I'm gonna
just
be so
throw it.
mad when I can't get this one.
I have nothing.
I guessed Blake Bortles. Was I right?
It's not Blake Bortles.
All right, who is it?
It's Kevin Smith.
Okay, never mind. I wasn't
Yeah,
thinking of that
Kevin
guy.
Smith. Isn't
Does
that the
not
guy?
ring a bell at all.
Doesn't that
buddy.
guy talk before
What
the
a
game
bland
start
name,
in
Kevin
2K?
Smith.
All right.
That's Ernie
Aiden.
Johnson.
Aiden, we're
Come
going to move
Warriors.
on over to you, buddy.
All right, I don't need to write this down. My player played at Tennessee.
Oh,
Keep going.
He was a quarterback.
oh.
I do know a good amount of Tennessee quarterbacks.
Yep.
Not enough to
Yeah,
make you guess here.
there are a lot of Tennessee quarterbacks.
We'll
Keep
lock
going.
in Nico.
This man was the first round pick, first overall in the 1998 NFL draft.
Oh.
okay.
Could be one of
Everybody's
the biggest campus legends of all time.
Every-
All right,
every-
we need teams.
no, everybody's
No.
locking in.
He played for the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos.
Huh.
How long was he active for?
He played 18 seasons from 1998 to
All
2015.
right, throw it up.
I should have just locked it in whenever you did.
You guys all got it. Good job.
It is Peyton Manning.
It could have either been Hendon Hooker, Josh Dobbs, or Peyton Manning.
I was thinking you were going to go early 2010s Tennessee quarterback. So I was trying to figure out the years.
That's
on
where
it.
I
But you
started
said
at.
first round, and I was like, oh, okay, no.
Yeah.
But we
Brandon.
have one last one, and it's mine and USC wide receiver.
I'm gonna walk in.
Wow.
Right. I bet you he writes Juju.
Nope.
I'm now gonna write Juju. That was a fake out tactic. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he was doing. Yeah, he's
The
playing.
29th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft.
Nope, I didn't get it right. I know who it is though.
I'm
Sadly, I did
probably
not.
gonna need the
I waited.
2014 NFL Draft.
Yep.
Wait.
I'm upset.
No, I don't think that's where you went. I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna need that next hint.
Went from 2014 to 2021.
It's all adding up, but I'm just gonna need the teams because I'm not confident.
Teams are Jaguars, Patriots, and 49ers.
What was this dude's name?
If they don't
Two-time
guess
All-American.
if they don't guess it, can I raise my hand in redemption points? No.
You don't get points.
What'd you say the teams
Okay,
were?
but I can say.
The Jaguars, Patriots, 49ers.
Yeah, I know who this is.
Joey has sent in his guess as a message of someone I have never heard of.
2014, 2021 Jaguars player. I'm just trying to remember those guy on the Jaguars receiving core. I can't. I'm
know
going to know this
wrong,
name
but
as
I'm
soon
gonna
as I
put
hear it, and I'm going to be very sad. Yeah, got nothing.
Jackson's trying to cheat right now.
I've already locked in.
This is definitely not right, so I don't even know why you're looking at my board right now. I just can't think of his name.
Can I guess before they raise their boards?
They have to say they're out of it before you guess.
Yeah, I'm out of it.
I'm out of it.
All right. Jackson shared with the class.
Marquise Lee.
Marquise
That
Lee.
is correct. It was
I had the wrong Marquise. I put
Lee.
Marquise Goodwin.
Two-time All-American USC receiver Marquise Lee.
Yeah, I put Drake London.
Well, he was on that Jaguars AFC Championship team.
I know.
I couldn't remember his name. Hand up.
But that is all we have time for you today, unfortunately. So be sure to listen to all the shows here at Wolf Sports Network. We have Sports Pack Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7. And we have Sports Out of Pocket Wednesdays from 6 to 7. So until next Friday, God bless.